and snow it begins. Yes, indeed, we are getting our first real snow of the year here in Rochester, and it's going to be, I'm sure, the first of very many, as usual. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, first off, to say that I am in fact still alive. I've just been busy with schoolwork and other crap, so that's just kind of been tying me up. But somewhere along the line I came up with this little feat of cheap engineering. If you can really call it that. This is what I like to call the air blender. This is a solution for the fact that the built-in heater in this room is not equipped with a thermostat. It only has a fan speed selector, which means that in order to maintain a temperature in this room, you have to get up every couple minutes and turn it off or on and back off and on and off and on, and that gets really freaking annoying. So, because we're not allowed to have space heaters in the dorms here, because of fire code, I ended up coming up with this. The idea being basically to take the edge off of the hot air by mixing it with cold air. And so, effectively, well, not effectively, that basically is what ends up happening. You got this fan in the window that can be set to either pull air in from the outside, blow air outward to the outside, or both. And in this case, it's actually set to blow air outside. It's set as an exhaust fan because it really is just that cold outside that the cold air was actually dominating over the warm air more than I wanted it to. So got them both blown outward, and then we just get a little bit of cold air seeping in along the edges here because this window fan doesn't really fit this window. But what that means is, by the time it hits the back of this fan ends up blowing lukewarm air across the room. And in turn, at the very least, it means I can wait a little bit longer between the number of times I have to come up to it. I have to get up to adjust this thing, which is quite nice, particularly because it means I can leave it on overnight, which before I could not leave the heat on overnight. Otherwise, it would be really blazing hot in the morning. And, of course, if I left the heat off, then it would be really freezing cold in the morning. So, this basically solves that problem, at least relatively. I'm sure someone's going to be questioning my judgment as to why I would leave the heat on overnight, or leave the heat on continuously, not to mention leave it beating against the cold air from here. Well, there are a couple reasons for that. One is it's all on the university's dime. And the other is actually has to do with how this heater works. This does not actually have an electric heating element in it. This is actually basically a glorified radiator. There is either steam or hot water, I'm not sure which, going through a pipe with metal fins on it inside here. And then the fan just blows air across it. So in effect, the only electricity usage coming out of this is that of the fan motor. And I would assume, at least, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that that's probably about comparable to leaving, you know, another of these running or something like that. So it's a little bit of added convenience, and even with quite a bit of air coming in from the outside, it actually does keep it quite comfortable in here. Then again, I suppose this heater just works that well. But yeah, so that's basically what I've been up to. So thanks for watching, and keep it tuned here, because you might see various other random feats of cheap engineering coming soon.